Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another weekly predictions. Today we are doing NFL Week 2. Week 1 is in the past. Again, we are recording this as of Sunday night, so there are 2 more games still to be had, but our records will still be updated. Speaking of that, currently, although there are 2 games left, all 3 members are 7-7, and I am 4-10, so I'm in last. Not doing very good, but the records they'll be updated, so I'll be either 6-10 hopefully, or some of that variation, but we'll have our records up right now, as you can see, so we'll see who's in first. And then if you guys do want to play along with us, I said this in our last video, we had a graphic pop up, it'll pop up again, but if you want to predict along with us, choose 3 games, comment them down below from week 2, who you think is going to win, and a chance for you to be shouted out. We'll be keeping track of them in the comments down below, so feel free to do that. Charlie Nidell, our other host, is not here, as you will see after the intro plays. He's currently actually at the Giants game, so he was not able to be here, but his predictions will be sent in and his record will be updated by week 3. So it'll all work out. We'll all have updated records. He just unfortunately won't be able to record today, but his predictions will still be there, and you'll see them on the graphics that pop up after each. Just he won't be able to speak. But without further ado, let's get into it.
So opening up this week 2 of matches in the NFL, we've got an NFC East clash between the team with no name and the team with no quarterback. We've got the New York Giants and the Washington football team. What do you think, Ian?
I think what's funny is we learned a lot about Daniel Jones and this Giants team in week 1 and about, really how good they were. And it wasn't very good. Blown out. Daniel Jones, the scoreline didn't look as bad, but Daniel Jones got that rushing touchdown at the end, which didn't matter. 27 points were put up against us, against a Denver offense that I don't think was particularly fantastic, and a defense that I expected to be very good from the Giants, or a top 10 defense. And I maybe venture to say top 5, but I don't think so. Now I am almost at the point as a Giants fan to be waiting until next season, until when we get a new coach and hopefully a new quarterback. I'm gonna be realistic here. I think it's gonna be Washington. I need, for the sake of getting a good record, I'm going Washington here. What do you think, Dylan?
Yeah, I'm completely going to agree with you. Although I didn't think Washington looked all that hot either. Fitzpatrick, when he was in, honestly looked abysmal. Mm-hmm. And when Taylor Heineke came in, he looked a lot better. So I'm thinking he's going to be playing
Fitz is out for several weeks.
Yeah, I think he's going to be playing a big amount of these games, a lot. So I think Heineke's going to lead them to a win here. Give me Washington.
Yeah, I think this is a battle of 2 very good defenses and 2 extremely poor offenses, especially at the quarterback position. Obviously, Fitzpatrick not being in this game is obviously going to hurt Washington, despite how abysmal he did play against the Chargers. Daniel Jones, the less said about him, the better. I think Washington's front 5 will eat him alive. I will go with a low-scoring Washington win.
Going into the next game, we've got the Vegas Raiders, who we have not seen play yet, and the Pittsburgh Steelers, who looked really, really good in their first win against Buffalo. What do you think?
Yeah, this is a tougher. I mean, the Steelers team, Dylan, like you said, looked fantastic against the Buffalo Bills. Offensively wasn't great, and although I predicted the Bills to win, I said Josh Allen would not have a great stat line, and he didn't. This Bills team was completely locked down by the Steelers offense, that $100 million pass rusher in TJ Watt. Going into this game, I think Steelers go 2-0. We haven't seen the Raiders play yet, so again, that's a bit of a storyline, but I will go Steelers here. I think that defense will be much, much, much more disruptive against a worse Raiders team.
Yeah, I'm going to agree with you. I think the Steelers are going to be able to probably walk them out of this game pretty comfortably. The defense of the Steelers, again, they've proved me wrong. I haven't been very high on the Steelers, as you've seen, but that defensive performance against one of the best offenses in the NFL has really opened my eyes. And although I still don't believe too much in Big Ben Roethlisberger or the rest of that offense, I think it's enough to get by a lackluster Raiders team. So give me the Steelers.
Yeah, for me, I'm going to go Pittsburgh as well, but I wouldn't. This is a game that I'd put on upset alert. I think Ben Roethlisberger, despite them winning, it was in spite of him. He looked bad against the Bills defense, and it was really one special teams block punt that really turned around that game. If he performs bad again in the Raiders, Josh Jacobs has a good game, look out. I'll say the Steelers win.
Moving on to the next one, we've got two teams that won their week 1 matchup. We've got the San Francisco 49ers and the surprisingly potent offense of the Philadelphia Eagles. What do you think, Ian?
Ooh, Jalen Hurts, man. Me and Dylan, we like him. He looked really, really good. I mean, the throws he was making, he kind of looked like that Deshaun Watson, Kyler Murray mobile, not as big. Well, Deshaun Watson's big, but not as big guy. I mean, he looked really good. I mean, he kind of showed I can be a franchise guy, and he blew out a pretty high-flying Falcons offense. I mean, it's an offense that was locked down to 6 points. That Eagles team overall played very well. This is a tougher one. This is really think about it. This is a tough one to predict. Garoppolo looked bad, but then obviously put up 41, and the Niners almost got caught. I'm going to give this game to San Francisco. Not confident at all about it.
Yeah, I have honestly no idea on this one.
Yeah.
I'm going to have to make a prediction, but I'm going to go with San Francisco, and it has nothing to do with how either team played, because I didn't think San Francisco looked very good defensively, and I thought Philadelphia really shocked me. I didn't have them as a good team at all. I had them actually as the worst team in the NFL going into the season. But it would be very unwise of me to bet against San Francisco in both week 1 and 2 against the Lions and Eagles, so I'm going to give it to San Fran.
I'm going to give it to San Francisco as well, but I agree with you, Dylan. That defense was very unconvincing against the offense against Detroit. I also give it to San Francisco, though. Expect a big game, though, from rookie running back Eli Mitchell.
In all 3 of these games, we have had clean sweeps, and I don't think that will change coming up next. We've got the Texans and the Browns, unless we've got some hot takes from any of our analysts. What do you think, Ian?
I I'm going to go with the Browns, but the Texans look good. And it was against a bad Jaguars team, to be fair. Tyrod Taylor looked very good. It was they look good. I mean, again, Trevor Lawrence threw 3 interceptions against a Texans team that we had as the worst team. The Texans are in first place in their division, which is, who would have thought? I know it's one game, but give me the Browns. I don't like consistently going with the team that we like is the favorite, but you can't predict for the Texans for this one unless you can. Surge, what do you think?
Browns. I think I'd love to go with an upset. I had the Texans winning last week because, again, the Jaguars felt like the matchup that they could win. They aren't very good. You have a rookie quarterback coming in, and the Texans showed up and won. Browns lost in a close game with the defending AFC champions, but I think they'll rebound easily at home against the Texans. What do you think, Dylan?
Yeah, I'm going to agree with you. There's really no way that the Texans, even though they had a great game, they really played well offensively. Tyrod Taylor looked like he was back in 2017 with that Bills team. But the Browns are just too good of a roster. They put up a hell of a game against the Chiefs. I can't see a way that the Texans win. Give me the Browns. That's 4 clean sweeps. Or are we going to make it 5? Broncos, Jaguars. What do you think, Ian?
Man, I think we probably will. This Broncos defense looked really good. We saw the investments they put into that secondary against New York Giants. I mean, shut down Ronald Darby looked really good. Obviously Justin Simmons looked fantastic. I'm going to go Broncos here, other B. Look, Trevor Lawrence did not look convincing at all. Unfortunately, threw 3 interceptions, 3 touchdowns as well. It all matters, but I'm going to go Broncos here. I think this defense is not going to let 3 touchdowns go over their head. Give me Broncos, and I think it could be a shutout.
Yeah, I'm gonna agree with you here. I think the Broncos are gonna win. I'm not gonna say it's gonna be a shutout because that's a very tough prediction to make, especially since they've got some good receiving options with the Jacksonville Jaguars that Trevor Lawrence was not shy to throw the ball deep to. But overall, the Broncos have one of the best secondaries and best front lines in the league, making them a top defense. And Teddy Bridgewater didn't look half bad. Melvin Gordon looked excellent on the ground. So I'm going to give it to the Broncos.
I'm going to give it to the Broncos as well. I think that secondary is very, very scary. I expect Gordon and Javonte Williams to have big games against a very lackluster Jaguars defense. I think Trevor Lawrence will have a hard time. And yeah, nothing else to say. I think Broncos win this.
Moving on to the first game where I believe we might have some contradicting opinions. We've got a divisional clash in the NFC South. It's the Saints and the Panthers. Kim, what do you think?
Jameis Winston threw 5 touchdowns and beat the Packers 38-3.
But he didn't even have 200 yards passing.
Like, I know, but like, what the action? I mean, again, a lot of these predictions when we get past week 1 is like talking about the week prior. I mean, that game was ridiculous. Again, that is beyond me. I don't know how that happened. It was the Heat, Dylan. That's what we said. But, for this one, the Panthers looked good. They played a rookie, Zach Wilson, who was shaky, got his feet in the second half. I'm going to go Saints here. I think they continue that streak. I'm going with my record's really bad. I need to go for at least the favorites for at least this week just to bring it back up a little bit. So I'm going to go Saints here.
I'm going to go, you know what, this is the first disagreement. I'm going to go Panthers.
Okay, I like it. Thank God.
And I think, obviously, I have the Sam Darnold Jets jersey, which is very ironic considering I was rooting against Darnold. But obviously, Zach Wilson didn't have a great game against this Panthers defense. But I think the Panthers defense looked amazing. Like, they were flying. That secondary looked young and hungry. The pass rush was elite. I could see them having a similar season to how Jacksonville did it, like in 2017 with all those young players. Obviously, not as good, but I think they have the potential for them is through the roof. And going against Jameis Winston, who did have a good performance, I think Darnold will be fine. CMC will have a big game. Give me the Panthers.
I'm going to go with Kean here. I think the Saints are going to win this game. And it's not because of Jameis Winston. It's not because of Alvin Kamara. It's because that defense held one of the most potent offenses, again, to 3 points.
And benched Aaron Rodgers.
Marshawn Lattimore held Devontae Adams to under 100 yards today. He was just re-signed literally like 6 minutes ago to a 5-year contract for $97 million. So I think that the defense, and that's part of the reason that Jameis Winston was so excellent in the touchdown statistic, is because that defense turned the ball over so many times, giving them great field position. Defense wins games. Defense wins championships. Give me the Saints.
Love it.
Now going into our next game, we have the Indianapolis Colts hosting the Los Angeles Rams. I'm going to go to Yuki, and again, what do you think?
Man, some of the predictions looking back last week, I was like, why the hell did I predict that? The Jets, the Colts, who just got outplayed. I think another storyline was the amount of over-the-shoulder catches, like ridiculously, like Terry McLaurin, Tyler Lockett. The one Christian Kirk had was crazy.
Basket cast.
Yeah, crazy. The Rams yet to play again. Defense, offense matchup. Wentz didn't look great. That defense from the Colts got destroyed, and that was supposed to be their strong suit. I'm going to go Rams. I'm going to the team that I think is the favorite, but I'm going to go Rams here.
I'm going to go with I think I'm going to go with the Rams as well. Obviously, we haven't seen them play yet. Colts didn't look very good. I think Matt Stafford should have a good game against, in my opinion, it's somewhat weak secondary. And I think the Rams defense is good enough to slow down Wentz. Give me the Rams.
And yet again, we all agree. I think the Rams are going to take down the Colts very quickly and give the ball a lot to Sonny Michel at the end of the game. Just a gut feeling I have. I don't know why. Right. Moving on to my Miami Dolphins against the Buffalo Bills at Hard Rock Stadium. I'm actually going to go first here. I think that the Buffalo Bills, after their very frustrating Week 1 loss, are going to bounce back and destroy the Miami Dolphins. I'm not even going to give
that hurts.
I'm not going to give even a fair shot. And I'll tell you why. It's because the defense was excellent, but it was excellent against a rookie quarterback with an inexperienced running back and a very weak receiver core. Put that defense up against Josh Allen, Stephon Diggs. You don't know what's going to come to them. The offense isn't good enough to keep up. Give me Buffalo.
Yeah, I'm going to go Buffalo as well, but this, again, a trap game. I think this could very much be a trap game. That Bills team was not convincing at all at home against the Steelers team that we all were projecting to be not that good this year. Again, as I said, I'm going to go Bills. I'm going to regret not going Dolphins here. I have this sneaky feeling Dolphins could win, but I'm going to go Buffalo Bills here.
I'm going to go Buffalo as well. Obviously, last year proved that we don't know yet if Miami secondary is ready to hang with like a high-flying offense like Buffalo. Pittsburgh did the job, but I don't think that Miami even has as close to as good of a pass rush as Pittsburgh. And for that reason, with much more cleaner pocket, Josh Allen picks apart the Miami defense and wins today. Next week.
Wow.
Yep. Next game, another AFC East clash between the Patriots and the Jets. Keegan, what do you think? I'm actually very undecided between this, so I'm going to wait until the end to make my call.
Tough one, definitely, for sure. I think we were giving Surge his fair share of crap for how bad Zach Wilson was playing in the beginning. I think he picked it up. I'm going to go Patriots. This is so tough because I could see the Jets winning. For some reason, I see them winning in my head, but It's so hard. I just think in terms of matchups, I think that the Patriots are a bit favored. But I could see the Jets and Serge. I don't think you'd be biased at all going Jets here. But what's your take on this one?
I feel sad saying this. I'm gonna go Patriots. I think their defense is another one of those terrifying defenses to go against. And I think Zach Wilson's the type of quarterback who's gonna learn from playing against these types of defenses. We saw Carolina first half had nothing, didn't play very well. Second half really picked it up, and I think he'll do the same against the Patriots defense. But I think Mac Jones as well might struggle against underrated Jets defense. And I think it'll be another kind of low-scoring battle, tough game. Running backs will be crucial. But I think the Patriots win in a nail-biter, sadly.
I'm going to have to go against the grain here. I think the Jets are going to take the Patriots. So the only real reason I have this is because I wasn't convinced by Mac Jones, and I wasn't convinced by the receiving corps. Jacoby Myers, while he looked like he was Mac Jones' favorite target, had 2 or 3 drops in very crucial moments. And I think that's something that the Jets won't have a problem with. And I think that the offensive line is now raw enough to hold off a good enough pass rush, but not good enough to take down the Jets. Give me the Jets.
Going into the next game now, we do have the Chicago Bears going against the 1-0 Cincinnati Bengals with a very impressive win. Kian, what do you have here?
Yeah, again, going back to last week, a good performance by them. Jamar Chase, who thought the NFL ball was harder to catch, maybe he was just putting us under this smoke screen so that he would then go to catch for over 100 yards.
Apparently, that's not what he said, actually.
I don't know. Again, maybe he's not. But he looked fantastic. The 2 LSU receivers going at it, and Jamar Chase beat out Justin Jefferson. I think we saw the Bengals, like, this is a step towards getting that team rebuilt, especially in a really tough division. I've been saying it. I think the Bengals could be a trap team in terms of matchups this year. This one, I'm going to go Cincinnati Bengals to go 2-0 to start the season.
I'm also going to go against you here. I think the Bears are going to win this game, and I'll tell you why. Because in the first half, the Bengals had nothing, more of the first quarter and the first half of the second quarter. The Bengals had nothing going for them against one of the weakest defenses in the NFL. And eventually it all fell for them. Joe Burrow and Jamar Chase ended up connecting. But I don't think that they're going to be able to pick up where they left off against such a dangerous pass rush containing Khalil Mack and such a great linebacker core with Roquan Smith. So I don't think that they're going to be able to take down a Bears defense. And I think the offense is good enough where they'll be able to outscore. Give me the Bears.
I don't think actually the Bengals offense played that bad against the Vikings defense that has Daniel Hunter returning, Michael Pierce, and Dalvin Thompson on the line. I'm actually going with Cincinnati as well. I think their defense actually played very well in the first half against Kirk Cousins and the Minnesota Vikings offense. So why can't they do it against Chicago? I think Chicago's defense is not as good as it was in years past. I think Joe Burrow had a great start to the season. Yeah, give me the Bengals. I think they win.
Moving on to another divisional clash. We're seeing a lot of these this week.
Yeah.
We got the Falcons and the Buccaneers. I'm going to take it from here. I think we've got a very straightforward answer. The reigning Super Bowl champions will clap the Falcons,
we
might say.
The most analytic term that's ever come
out
of your mouth.
As we might say. The Buccaneers are going to be able to take the Falcons very quickly, very easily. Hopefully Mike Evans doesn't screw up my fantasy team again. So, yeah. Give me the Buccaneers. Yeah,
I mean, it's very funny if the Falcons team are going to lose to what we thought would be the worst team in the NFL, how are they going to beat the best team, arguably in the NFL? So I'm going Bucks. Sweet, nice and sweet, quick. What do you think, Serge?
You know what? The Falcons come up mad. They got almost shut out by the Eagles. They go up 28-3, and then it all falls apart. And the Buccaneers win pretty comfortably. So yeah, give me the Buccaneers here.
That is going to be on one of our social medias, I promise.
Yeah. Imagine the Falcons freaking win. It'll be like Derrick Henry is.
Father. Oh my! I just noticed the 28-3 term. That took me a little bit to process. That was very good, Serge. All right.
Okay.
Go.
Going on to our next game, Cardinals versus Vikings. This is a very interesting game. Kian, I'm going to go to you first. What do you think about this one?
MVP Kyler Murray. Holy crap, did he look good in Tennessee? He's the classic mobile modern quarterback, can throw on the run. He obviously has Hopkins, which makes it better. That toe tap in the end zone was ridiculous.
And the spin move.
Yeah, and AJ Green and Christian Kirk, they all look so good. I'm gonna go. This is a tough one because I feel like, again, it's like the Vikings could win. I'm gonna go Cardinals. I really like Kyler Murray. I'm gonna stick with my gut. Cardinals win this one. I wouldn't be surprised if this one's very, very close, though.
I'm going to have to agree with you. I think the Cardinals are going to win, but I'm not completely convinced about the ability that the Cardinals offensive line has to protect Kyler Murray scrambling. Against a team like the Vikings, I think it'll be able to win them the game. I think he'll be able to play at a level that's good enough to beat a lackluster defense. But going forward, I'm not convinced by the offensive line. But give me the Cardinals. The defense looked excellent, and Kyler Murray was playing like an MVP. So it'd be foolish not to take them.
Yeah, I'm going Cardinals here. I think they have too much offensive firepower I think they'll overwhelm the Viking secondary. Kirk Cousins will do his best to keep up, but I give you the Cardinals here.
Going into the next one, we've got our 425 matchup between the Titans and the Seahawks. This is a very interesting one. I'm going to go first here. I think the Titans are going to defeat the Seattle Seahawks. I think it was a complete fluke how bad that offense played. I think they're going to find their feet. Mike Vrabel's going to train them hard. They're going to be able to beat the Seahawks in a very, very close match.
I don't think it was a fluke. I think that game showed the loss of Arthur Smith was a lot more that it mattered a lot more than people thought. I had Derrick Henry in fantasy. He played terrible. Don't take him in PPR, ladies and gentlemen. I'm going Seahawks here. Russell Wilson looked great. That offense looked like it was firing on all cylinders like it was ending last year. And it looks like they're putting the ball in Russell Wilson's hand instead of just handing it off to Carson like they did on the back end of last season. Give me the Seahawks here, Dylan. We disagree.
I'm going to take Dylan's side here. I think Tennessee also marches to Seattle. Seattle kind of confident after week 1 win. Derrick Henry rebounds, has a good game. He never really has 2 bad games in a row. I predict Tennessee go back to Seattle and pull off an upset win.
Yep. Now moving on to the next one, and this is a very interesting one. Going into even more interesting one in the next two, we've got the Cowboys and the Chargers up here. This is the closest match of the week for me. So, Kian, you can take it first.
What a week of, I have not seen a slate of games that is this interesting. Holy crap. I didn't, just going through it, wow. I was looking at this one before we went. I'm going to go Cowboys. I think Dak looked so good. I think he arguably came back better than he left. I'm going to go Cowboys, a shootout. But I think we have to remember the Chargers didn't look fantastic. I mean, neither team looked great. Justin Herbert threw a touchdown interception. He went for 337 yards, but besides that, wasn't great. So I'm going to go Cowboys here.
I'm going to agree with you. I'm going to end up picking the Cowboys here, and I'm going to agree that the Chargers did not look good enough to beat a team that just played the Bucs to one of the best openers in NFL history. So I think the Cowboys have a better offense, and the defense, honestly, while they didn't look great, they turned the ball over enough to beat a team like the Chargers. Herbert did not look to have the best start to his sophomore season. That was really good alliteration. If you're watching this, Miss Troiano, give me an extra credit point. But give me the Cowboys here.
I'm going to go with the Chargers here. I think Justin Herbert actually, again, 337 yards against a no-joke Washington defense. I think Herbert actually I thought he could have a worse performance. And the fact that he was able to lead his team to a comfort from behind win is very impressive. And I think against an easier Cowboys defense, he'll have an even better game. He'll barely outduel Dak Prescott for another heartbreaking loss for Dallas. Give you the Chargers at home.
Now we go to the Sunday night showdown, game of the week. Two of the most heavyweight teams in the NFL with two of the most innovative quarterbacks in the NFL. AFC matchup, Ravens, Chiefs at M&T Bank Stadium. Kian, what do you think?
Quarterback, running back. I like the quarterback more. I'm going to go Chiefs here.
No, so Dylan doesn't get mad, I'm going to go in between you guys. I agree. The quarterback beats the running back. I think Patrick Mahomes outduels Lamar Jackson. I don't think he's Lamar Jackson's running back, but he still hasn't really proven to come from behind and be able to duel against significant aerial threats in the passing game. I think Kansas City wins this.
I'm going to give this game to the Kansas City Chiefs. And it has nothing to do with the quality of the quarterbacks, although I do think Mahomes is better, don't get me wrong. It has more to do with the quality that the Chiefs' offensive line and the Chiefs' offense in general had to battle back from down a big score game against the Cleveland Browns. And I think the Ravens are slightly better than Cleveland, but I think the Cleveland Browns would be able to hold the lead better than the Ravens. Chiefs prove that they can come back from that. Give me the Chiefs. And now going on to the last game of the week, we've got the high-fighting, knee-biting Detroit Lions versus the Green Bay Packers, who just got swamped in the swamp. What do you think?
This is the most ridiculous storyline. Like Dylan, I have to give Dylan credit. Dylan said the Lions, he loves how his coach fights and they get back, and they did exactly that against the 49ers. So I'll give Dylan credit for that. And the Packers look like the worst team in the NFL last week. This is my upset pick. Give me the Lions.
Oh, I've converted someone.
In Green Bay, I think, I gotta go Packers. They'll rebound. They're still too talented on offense. Why I say, Dylan, that was a very good form of rhyming now. High fighting, knee biting. If your English teacher's watching, now she definitely has to give you an extra point. Yeah, I mean, but yeah, I was. The Lions almost came back from the Niners choked that. That would have been crazy. That would have been the meme of the season. Yeah. I'll give credit to Dan Campbell. He's looked better than I thought, but I'm still gonna give it to the Packers here.
Although I love that I've converted someone to the Dan Campbell Church of Football. I'm not gonna be able to back. I'm not gonna be able to back you up here. The Packers looked terrible, but it was in Jacksonville. They're going to be able to come back, and I'm not going to say they're going to destroy them, because I think the Lions can fight with anyone. You know Dan Campbell, you know what I like about him. But I'd have to be crazy to tell you that they're going to be able to beat the Packers. Aaron Rodgers back in his home stadium, home opener, prime time. Give me the Packers.
And that's the pick that I would be like, why did you do that? You just said that to say it. But we all do it. That will end our week 2 predictions. So I hope you guys did enjoy. As I said, if you do want to play along with us, or if you somehow made it to the end of the video, make sure you do comment them down below. Play along with us. Hopefully my record becomes better, but we'll think of something we have to do if whoever loses and I look like that person. So, but we will continue again. Charlie will be back next time. He actually sent his predictions midway through recording, so his will be here. So if you see a random name named Charlie and you're like, wait, why are there 4 names and only 3 people here? He's our other host if you are new. But we hope you guys did enjoy. These videos will be coming out every week. The NFL season is officially back, ladies and gentlemen. Week 1. What a week. And now week 2 is here. What a week. NFL's back, ladies and gentlemen. It's all the road to SoFi Stadium for the Super Bowl. And here's our week 2 prediction. Hope you guys enjoy. All social media links and everything, if you want to contact us outside of YouTube, are down below. After the deuce, Key McDermott, Suraj Kali, and Dylan Shalom. Charlie Nadell is not here, but he is the other one. We'll see you next time. Thank you guys so much for watching.